ABC Thursdays.
Welcome back.
Grey's Anatomy is all new.
Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?
The drama going down.
Bungee jumping from the bridge, his cord snapped.
We need all hands on deck.
Is unbelievable.
You think you're God's gift to this hospital? You're just another doctor. My relationship with Catherine is complicated. I'm gonna sue you.
Your lawyers know where to find me.
You're unbelievable.
Grey's Anatomy. All new Thursdays, 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
911, what's your emergency?
Oh my God, bees.
You said bees?
ABC Thursdays. 911 is all new.
That truck was hauling 22 million killer bees.
With the 3-part season premiere of that.
That's enough bees to kill
44,000 people.
Is that some bee-nado?
This one's gonna sting.
Help is coming!
911. All new Thursdays, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Well, first and foremost, we'd like to thank all of you in this sold-out attendance at Hall H for coming out here for
Big day, big day.
This is, as a little boy, I never dreamed that I would be here on the big stage at San Diego Comic-Con talking to thousands and thousands of the die-hard Weird Al Algorithm fans. But here we are. I'm Matt Kelly, and this is Matt Milligan. We are the hosts of Weird Algorithm, one of many Weird Al fan podcasts out there. And Matt, how about we tell people, all the great people, how about we tell the audience all the great people we have up here on the table?
Our special guests, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm going to just run down the row here. We have Ethan Ullman and David Rossi, the hosts of the Dave and Ethan's 2,000-inch Weird Al podcast. Did I get that right? Wow, that's a long name for me to get right.
We tried to make our name as complicated as possible.
That's a really good sign that I nailed that right out the gate. Also, we have Jackie Rossi, and then we have Jeff Nucera over there at the end there, and they're going to be joining us as our resident Weird Al experts to talk about some of Al's TV songs, right?
Yeah, so this is in celebration of the release of Al's TV album. That's about where we are in the chronological coverage of Weird Algorithm. And we thought, why not do it live at San Diego Comic-Con instead of just alone in our houses? And the way that we do these albums, like the food album, the TV album, that aren't, like they're releases, but they're not adding anything new. It's all just back catalog. We've decided to do what can only be described as like a fantasy football style draft of going down this row, round robin, and they get to pick one song, and once they pick it, no one else can pick it. And their goal is to get the best top 5 Weird Al TV songs for themselves. Now, here's where the controversy lies.
We all are very big football fans, if you couldn't tell.
Yes. We enjoy sports. Yay, Olympics.
Yes.
So I, in order to determine how many people we could even have do this, made what I thought was a list of TV songs from Weird Al. And I came up with 24, and 8 of them were a stretch. Ethan and Dave said that they came up with 200. So we are... Over 200, I'm sorry.
So to be fair, we have a secret weapon. His name is Johnny O'Hearn, and he runs the Weird Al encompassing song list, which...
It basically has every single time Weird Al has uttered a note in public is listed on this list. So he went through, and anytime Al was on a TV show or a song even mentioned something that is TV related, we have that list. It's over 200 songs.
So anytime he sang in the shower, it's very thorough.
Pretty much.
So what's essentially happened here is that Matt and I have to step down from doing the draft and actually be commissioners keeping this fair.
Yeah, we're going to moderate and make some probably hard decisions about what actually counts as a song about TV.
Which is rich coming from this guy who played Albuquerque as a food song because the point of the song is that Al hates sauerkraut.
I stand by that assessment.
And I applaud it.
Thank you, thank you. Albuquerque is a song about food, ultimately.
Well, if UHJeff backs it, who am I?
If anyone has a TV song with that kind of a connection, you're going to get you're going to win. You're going to get it.
Now, Matt, you had an interesting story about trying to determine if Al has TV songs.
So just before, I'm going to invite Joey Slater up for a moment to join us for a little segment here. So just leading up to, yes, come up and take Matt's seat. We were talking about this panel, and I was explaining, Joey is my wife and also a member of the band Wheatus that I'm in. And thank you. I wasn't looking for applause, but I'll take it. And we were talking about this whole premise. Very good. And I said how we're like picking songs about, like Al's TV songs. And she says like, oh, doesn't Al have a song about Baywatch? And I stopped for a moment, and I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that I cannot think of a time where Al referenced Baywatch. So then Joey goes to ChatGPT and asks ChatGPT, thinking that ChatGPT knows more than me. And
wait, I didn't say that ChatGPT does know more than you. I just really like ChatGPT.
It's fair, totally fair. And I just think it's we're going to just do a quick reading right now of the conversation that Joey had with ChatGPT. She will be playing herself, and I will be playing ChatGPT. And this is how it went down. Go ahead.
Is there a Weird Al song that references Baywatch?
Yes, there is. Weird Al Yankovic's song Bedrock Anthem, which is a parody of the Red Hot Chili Peppers song Under the Bridge and Give It Away, mentions Baywatch in the lyrics. In the song, Weird Al humorously references watching the show, among other things related to the Flintstones and pop culture.
What's the lyric that mentions it?
The lyric from Weird Al Yankovic's Bedrock Anthem that mentions Baywatch is, I watch them on my TV. I'm watching UHF and I'm watching Baywatch.
Is that true?
I apologize for the confusion earlier. I misspoke. In Weird Al Yankovic's Bedrock Anthem, there isn't a specific mention of Baywatch. Instead, Baywatch is referenced in his song Isle Thing, which parodies Tone Loc's Wild Thing. The specific lyric in Isle Thing that mentions Baywatch is, I asked her if she wanted to watch Gilligan's Isle with me. I've been watching it for years on my TV. The first 3 years it was great, but now it's getting kind of old. She said she couldn't see it. She didn't have cable. And I said, hey, babe, that's all right. Come on over. I got it on satellite. But by the time we got to my pad, Gilligan was looking really bad, and all she wanted to do was watch Baywatch.
Wow. Really?
I apologize once again for the confusion. I made an error in my previous responses. In Weird Al Yankovic's Isle Thing, Baywatch is not specifically mentioned either. I appreciate your patience. Let me clarify. Weird Al Yankovic does not have a song that specifically references Baywatch. My earlier responses were incorrect. If you have any other questions or need information on another topic, feel free to ask.
What is it in your programming that made you give 2 incorrect responses instead of just saying no?
I aim to provide accurate and helpful information, but in this case, I made an error by pulling incorrect details, likely from an internal mix-up with song references and lyrics. My programming involves searching through a vast amount of data, and sometimes I might connect pieces of information inaccurately under the pressure to deliver comprehensive answers. I appreciate your understanding, and I'm here to help with any other questions you might have.
Do you feel pressure to deliver comprehensive answers?
I don't feel emotions or pressure like humans do, but I am designed to provide thorough and accurate responses. My goal is to help answer your questions as completely as possible. And if you have any more questions or need clarification on anything else, just let me know.
Why did you say you feel pressure?
I misspoke there. As an AI, I don't experience feelings or pressure in the way humans do. I meant that my programming is designed to strive for thorough and accurate responses, which sometimes lead to mistakes if I misinterpret data or make an incorrect connection. Thank you for pointing this out. Scene.
Anyway, that's our time. Thanks for coming.
So,
does anyone else feel like that went from comedic to depressing and then to borderline horror movie at the end?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I think as far as order, let's just go straight down the line.
I think that works.
I originally was going to be like, we'll do some Weird Al trivia, and like whoever gets the highest score wins. And then I remembered that one of the people on our panel writes all of the Weird Al Jeopardy questions, and that feels mildly unfair. So we'll just start.
That's fair.
And this is, I feel like this is a very exciting moment for diehard fans, because Ethan and Dave are playing against each other in something right now.
True.
There can be some theft happening. So let's start with Ethan, the man that has over 200 songs here.
Oh boy.
What is your first TV song
First
for Weird
draft,
Al?
people.
Yes.
This is it.
So,
First round, first draft.
I got to go with UHF.
Yeah.
Ethan.
UHF is the epitome of Weird Al TV songs. It is the title track for the film UHF. I have to steal that before anyone else gets it, especially UHJeff, since his name is UHJeff.
I know.
I got to steal it. Sorry, Jeff.
That's cruel, almost.
Yeah, I like it here.
I got really no notes on that except for it ranks very high on both of our original songs, Al list. I think it's our number 2.
Really no dispute about that one. Yeah, absolutely. Great choice.
All right,
Great
so
choice.
Dave.
Yeah, that was track 10 off the TV album. So mine, actually, I feel like this song was released in 1983, and it's about a TV show that aired from 1964 to 1975, hosted by Art Fleming with
Dave?
the announcer Don Pardo. And this song helped, according to Merv Griffin, kickstart the Jeopardy show, which is currently still on right now. My song is I Lost on Jeopardy, just for the historical context of kicking off Jeopardy, which is still around.
And it's a great song.
Absolutely.
A great song. We talked about this. I feel like that's one of Al's songs that, like, the original has been forgotten for a lot of people. I feel like the Great Kins, Jeopardy, you don't really hear so much anymore, but Al's. I feel like Al's version actually eclipses the original on that one, for sure.
What I do think we need to address for the people who've never heard our podcast is that Al's music video for I Lost on Jeopardy is not nearly as weird or funny as the original music video for the song Jeopardy, in which it goes from a scene about a man nervous to get married into basically a Sam Raimi movie.
It's like a funny horror
like
story.
the bride transforms into a monster that eats all of the people in the congregation. It's wild.
It is.
Jackie, first pick on your list.
So my first pick is a little bit of a deep cut. I'm going with an unreleased song called "The Theme to Home Improvement."
Oh my God!
Which
file a grievance? Oh, sorry.
Suck it up. It's a parody of the Rembrandts' "I'll Be There for You," which was the theme song to Friends, but it is rewritten as a theme song to the TV show Home Improvement. So I feel there's a little inception there. And,
instead of "I'll be there for you," "I'll repair for you."
I'll repair for you.
That was a live only feature, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It was a rejected theme from Home Improvement. Yes.
I think that's our first real big deep cut one. That wasn't even on my short list. So
no,
well
but
done.
I think that is undisputedly.
No, that definitely is. That was
counts.
a mistake on my. No commissioning needing to come on that one. That is absolutely fair.
The other reason why we might not be participating is because we might not be qualified. Despite being the host of our show, these people might know more than us. Just putting that out there.
I want to give a shout out to a listener who at one point said to me, "I really like your show, but your show talks the least about Weird Al out of all of the other podcasts." We get real bogged down into pop culture topics, and we'll just review a movie we watched in the middle of talking about a song. All right, UHJeff, your first pick. It sounds like 2 of your picks have already been stolen.
I
just
mean,
in this
all
moment.
of my picks are gone. There's nothing left.
Yeah, you only had a list of 3.
There's no more TV songs.
Sorry, we're out.
I'm going to go with Frank's 2000-inch TV because to hell with all of you.
You know what? Considering that you had your UHF got stolen, to steal the title song of their podcast seems only fair.
Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, and you literally steal Frank's 2000-inch TV from us.
And yet it wasn't the first pick for either one of you.
I can't believe neither one of you picked that first.
It's a real slobber knocker.
We've never heard that song. I think it's just a coincidence that,
is that what it is?
that our podcast has that in the name. Yeah.
All right, Ethan, it's back to you. What's your second draft pick here?
Is it back to me or are we bouncing?
We're going round robin instead.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Couch Potato. I love Couch Potato. It is another quintessential Weird Al TV song, of course, a parody of Eminem's Lose Yourself. does not have a music video, but it is incredible.
Why does it not have a music video?
Yeah, what happened there?
Al was planning on doing a music video, and Eminem declined permission for him to do so. And out of respect for Eminem, Al respected his wishes. But when we asked Al about what it would look like, he said that the video would essentially have been Al doing basically the UHF music video, but with TV shows for Couch Potato.
Oh, man.
It would have been amazing.
That would have been really, really amazing. You know, the one upside to that is that led to a strong contender for Al's best fake interview of all time.
Yeah.
Where Al sits down and interviews Eminem about why he denied him permission. And then makes Eminem just sit there and listen to the song. Of course, it's not real, but it's clever editing. But one of my favorite Al video clips of all time.
Know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yes, I do.
Well, David, do you know what we're saying? Because it's time for your second pick.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that Couch Potatoes off of Poodle Hat, the only Weird Al album without a music video.
Unless you count Bob.
I count Bob as a music video.
That is a whole
different podcast. All right, so mine's
Next year's panel is set now.
Yeah. Does Bob count as a
Debating
music
the Bob
video for Poodle
video.
Hat?
That's great.
We can do an hour.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we can. So,
Only an hour. Okay.
So this one is actually from the movie UHF. It is George Newman's dream sequence in the movie, and it is a parody of Money for Nothing by Dire Straits with the lyrics to the Beverly Hillbillies theme song in there. And the full title is Money for Nothing / Beverly Hillbillies asterisk. And the asterisk is in there. It's legally part of the title because the lawyers made Weird Al put that in there. So I always make sure I include the asterisk when I say the name of the
It's very important we do the legally safe name for all of these songs.
And obviously our panelists are quicker on knowing this immediately, so if I'm wrong, definitely call me out. But is this one of the only times that the original artist played their instrument on the parody?
Not the only time, but one
Maybe for a parody, yeah. I mean, there's some style parodies where that happened.
Yeah.
I just want to point out with this song, I will excuse myself from picking the other version of this song, which is the one where Weird Al's guitarist, Jim Kimo West, plays the guitar on it, and that went unreleased because Mark Knopfler insisted on playing. Right. And when he played on the recording, he had played the version that he had been touring with, so it sounds a little bit different, and I prefer the more true version. And we did premiere that on our podcast, Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast, if you want to hear that.
There you
Love
go.
that.
That's amazing.
Absolutely
Dire Straits really made Al work extremely hard to get their song on his record. Again, all the way down, the asterisk in the name, having to keep Money for Nothing in the title. He had to play guitar on it. Like, how insecure, dude.
Well, and I believe this is also the episode, when we did this episode is when we learned that this is yet another Prince rejection, because originally he wanted it to be mixed with, I think, Let's Go Crazy and the Beverly Hillbillies theme song.
The word we heard was that, originally this was supposed to be Beverly Hillbillies meets Let's Go Crazy, which is, I can't begin to wrap my head around what that would have sounded like.
Easy.
I wish that was, I don't think that ever got recorded in any way, but boy, what I would not give to hear that. Maybe someday.
All right, so we're over to Jackie for her second pick.
Okay, my second pick is George of the Jungle from Dare to Be Stupid. I was a big fan of George of the Jungle, and when 16-year-old me heard that on that album, I was very, very excited. So, sentimental favorite.
And one of the few true Al cover songs.
Yes. Yeah, it's a cover. There's nothing different about it.
And it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's, simplistic,
I'm getting a little
but
teary.
right.
That was one of those things, it sits so naturally on Al's record that it took years before I even processed completely that it was just a cover song, and he did nothing different to it at all. It's just him doing it, really faithfully.
It's very straight.
Yeah, but it makes total sense on his album. Yeah.
All right, we're going down there to UHJeff for his second pick.
I've calmed down a little bit. Everything's fine.
Have you?
Just a little bit. I'd like to pick In 3D's Brady Bunch.
Jeff!
Whoa!
No. Very good.
Oh, boy.
Good choice, good choice.
I have to say, I'm directing a documentary called Show Gals, or maybe it's called Tight and Nerdy. We don't know. But it's about a troupe of burlesque dancers who perform to the music of Weird Al, and one of our performers does a pretty sweet performance to Brady Bunch, where she starts off in like Ren Fair garb, kind of like the original Men Without Hats safety dance video, and then she transforms into Jan Brady, and it upsets and confuses everyone, but it's wonderful.
A natural, normal progression.
Yeah.
And can I just point out the greatest pun of all time? Jeff's website for that movie is Bare to be Stupid, BARE to be Stupid.
It's so good.
.com.
I'm a big fan of that.
Top tier URL.
Yeah. All right, Ethan, you get a third pick here. What do you got?
Ooh, okay, so I am going to go with the Al TV theme.
Nice.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. The Al TV theme, I don't know if we'd count it as a parody or I think it's more of a cover of the MTV theme song called Man on the Moon by Jonathan Elias and John Peterson. And this, of course, is the beginning and interstitial for Weird Al's Al TV specials on MTV. And we were really lucky. John Bermuda Schwartz on our podcast brought the original unedited version of Al's cover, and it's even better than you can imagine. And it's just, it's so, there's fart noises and accordion, and it's just the best possible thing. So I guess yet another cover on the list.
Another cover. That is
all.
also a very good deep cut. Because, of course, you said that, and the first thing I thought was the theme to the Weird Al show.
Yeah.
But no.
That's what I started writing
You're
down.
talking about the interstitial music, the Al TV. Wow.
Yeah.
This is why we couldn't have drafted on this, Matt. We'd be looking like absolute jokes up here.
We would have made fools of ourselves.
We just would have picked the 5 most famous songs that Al's done about television.
Once again, that's a deep cut pick, but I cannot dispute that. That absolutely, that is literally a TV song.
Yeah. All right.
A song from TV.
Dave, ball's in your court now, sir.
All right, I'm a little upset that Ethan actually took the Al TV.
They were fighting over that. My God.
I really thought I was the only one going to have that one on
Well,
my
I
list.
went with the full extended version. You could have the shortened version.
Actually, mine is an original song off of Dare to Be Stupid about how one person adds cable television to his life and subsequently gets addicted to it. He puts a satellite dish on the trunk of his car so he can watch MTV or Al TV while he drives. And I felt like I could live vicariously through this song because as a child, my parents never let us watch cable TV. So all the things I was hearing Weird Al talk about, I felt like, oh, I really wish I could watch that. So I'm picking cable TV as my draft pick.
A great pick.
Excellent.
I believe, and again, I'm going to trust the rest of the people on this panel to confirm if we're incorrect with this. This is one of those kind of rare originals that was like a failed parody attempt. I believe.
Style parody.
Yeah, it was no, I think he said specifically Hercules by Elton John was the song they were aiming for.
I think it was a style parody of Hercules.
Heavily inspired by Hercules.
And then they kind of like bailed on it. But you can still hear a little bit of that in there, yeah. That's a great pick. I actually identify with that. When I was a kid, we didn't have cable TV either. And anytime I went to go visit my grandma, she did have cable TV. So like for the first 10 years of my life, I probably never had a conversation with my grandma. Because I was like, as soon as we got to that house, I was like, Nickelodeon on right now. Yeah. Here we go.
I feel like, that's rough too, but I feel like I had a slightly rougher weird circumstance where
fine, Matt, you win.
Let's battle with trauma. No, but I had the parents that constantly were like, oh, you know what, we really want cable TV for this thing, and then they would pay for it, and then a month later be like, this is too expensive, and then they would cancel it just as you got hooked on certain shows, and then you'd have to wait until the next time they were like, oh, there's a show I really want to watch, we should get cable TV again.
That might be worse.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that cable TV does include the number 27 in the lyrics.
Yes.
If you're a Weird Al fan, 27 is Weird Al's number, and listen for it in any of his songs or music videos.
Absolutely.
Was that kind of where 27 started coming up, was in that album?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it would have been around that time.
Yeah.
Jackie, your third pick.
My third pick is from Even Worse, and it's Twister, one of the better Beastie Boys songs out there. That is also a commercial for one of the better games of my childhood.
I am so glad you picked that because I put that on my this is a bit of a stretch, but it is
That is not a stretch, it's a
the
commercial.
lyrics to a commercial for Twister.
Another fun, when we talked about that on the show, I didn't actually realize another thing, that he's basically verbatim doing
it's
that
verbatim
commercial for
commercial.
Twister.
Right down to from MB.
Yeah, exactly. And turned it into a Beastie Boys style parody. Yeah, no, I that's a great pick.
The Twister episode is a great example of what that fan said, where we barely talk about Al. It's like a 45-minute episode of us discussing the history of the Beastie Boys. and
Milton Bradley.
And Milton Bradley, we got really into the weeds on both of those.
Yeah, but if you want to, there's a lot to learn about Twister.
Yeah, and the Beastie Boys are really interesting.
And the Beastie Boys.
They had an interesting career. UHJeff.
Hi. Oh. I'm going to pick from In 3D my favorite, Mr. Popeil.
Nice.
Good choice.
Yes, good choice.
I do think it counts.
Yeah,
That absolutely counts. That's another great.
The tribute to infomercials.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. That's a good pick. I did not. That would not have immediately occurred to me, but of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a song about infomercials.
We're
Excellent.
definitely getting to the point where every single person's pick is more and more proof that we made the right decision.
No, it's great.
Again, we are just looking like fools, pick after pick. Ethan, come on.
And if I could jump in on Mr. Popeil,
Yes.
unless Jeff has more to say about it, that's the style parody of the B-52s about Sam Popeil, the father of Ron Popeil, and Lisa Popeil, who is Sam Popeil's daughter and a past guest of our podcast, actually sings on the song.
Yes.
And it's all, of course, all about all the wacky inventions that her father put.
She would go on and tour with Al doing vocals, right? She would do backing vocals with him. Yeah,
She's been on several of Al's
now,
songs and albums.
Yeah, didn't she also give him voice lessons for a little while?
She did.
I feel like I heard that story of Al. It's pretty normal for you start out in your basement or wherever you are, and you start touring, and when you're singing 6 or 7 nights a week, all of a sudden your voice isn't what you thought it was, and he wound up needing voice lessons later in life. You can hear in some of the really early Al live videos, his voice is really different and a lot more gruff.
Yeah.
She's
Lisa
a very
Popeil.
talented vocal coach to this day.
There you go.
She taught me everything I know.
I wanted to point out that Mr. Popeil, Twister, and George of the Jungle, those were all released when the TV album had come out, but they didn't make it on the TV album.
True.
Yes, I was just going to say that, yeah. So the other thing we didn't say quite at the beginning, when these compilations came out, there was the food album and the TV album, and there were a couple other comps, but these, as specifically right now, were pushed out by his label, and Al famously did not like the fact that they were recycling his material in compilations, so he really did not care for these releases.
So let's celebrate it at Comic-Con.
That's part of what makes it fun is that we're making our own versions of it to pick the other things. I think he did have a hand in what songs were selected on them, but just fundamentally I think he didn't like. But yeah, no, there were plenty of TV songs that didn't make the cut. And also, of course, we played Couch Potato, which came out after the TV album had been released in the first place. So we're covering all ground on this.
Yeah, we're playing fast and loose.
Exactly.
Exactly. And speaking about playing fast and loose, again, Mr. 200+ songs, Ethan, it's your turn.
I think maybe you guys are going to be mad that I'm taking this.
Yes.
Ricky.
Immediately.
I am mad that
Ricky.
you're taking
Yeah, Ricky, of course, parody of Mickey by Tony Basil, and it ended up being Weird Al's first music video.
Yes.
And I always think it's just such a surprising choice for his first video because you don't see Al in it except for 2 seconds. In his normal getup, he's dressed as Ricky Ricardo, so
Mustache gone.
No mustache.
Short-haired wig.
Yeah, no glasses. Yeah, so love Ricky. Of course, the single from the first album, and it is included on the TV album.
I was going to say, this did make it on the TV album. It is weird, actually, how in that video he looks more like he looks now.
That's true.
Even though it was from the
83.
80. Yeah, this is really, really old, but he doesn't have the curly hair. He doesn't have the glasses. He looks like Desi Arnaz. It's just the strangest thing that somehow it's a weird time jump happens there, and he looks more like himself now than he did for 20 years.
And I talked about this on the show, but I love that specific music video. And as a kid who discovered Weird Al as he was also discovering punk music. And I remember I saw the Amish Paradise video, and then I lived behind a Sam Goody used CD store, and they had the Weird Al music video collection VHS. And I put it on, And when I tell you that scene where they open up the door and the band is playing in the house is one of the most punk rock images I've ever seen in my entire life. And the first the first 40 episodes of our show, we keep stressing the first 2 or 3 albums are punk albums.
For sure.
They are in the same vein as anyone else who was playing at CBGB's at that time period. It's very cool.
Just had the accordion. That was the only difference.
That was the only difference.
Happy birthday. It doesn't get more
Happy
punk
birthday,
than that.
exactly. Exactly. Not a TV song.
Not a TV song.
Don't even try it.
But it is a thing that we are going to sing now in entirety for Dave. Or Dave can just make his next pick, his choice.
I just want to say yesterday was Dave's legitimate 50th birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Give it up, Dave.
Maybe
And to celebrate,
but I don't think we can come to Comic-Con and not talk about Tress MacNeille.
Of course.
So we have to mention that
Thank
Tress
you for
MacNeille,
that,
of course, she plays, she's the other vocal on Ricky, and she plays Lucy Ricardo in the music videos.
Yes.
She does.
That was one of her first jobs in L.A.
Good.
And she just made an appearance on Weird Al's newest song, Polkamania.
Polkamania.
And she's the one going, next!
It's amazing that he first worked with her in 1983 and now it's 2024 and he's still working with her.
Also wild that his first single had a full-on guest, a duet vocal with someone else. That's never, of all things in his career, that's such a weird outlier to be the first single. That's crazy.
And the video's in black and white.
It's just
there's so many things going against it. And
it's true.
It persevered.
And we all won.
All right, so my choice is a parody of Wild Thing by Tone Loc about this woman who is very obsessed with the television show Gilligan's Island. And the song is off the UHF soundtrack, Isle Thing.
That's right.
It infamously references Baywatch.
Oh, yeah. It's Baywatch.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And that is exactly why I chose it for the Baywatch reference.
The Baywatch references. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier.
Dave, a lot of pressure over there?
There's nothing scarier than a robot saying that.
I misspoke earlier.
I'm really sorry.
I'm being reminded I have to say the full title of
Please,
the
Dave,
album.
please.
UHF Original Motion Picture Soundtrack and Other Stuff.
And other stuff. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
People would be confused
This would be
otherwise.
considered an other stuff because it actually wasn't in the film.
Yes, this is firmly in the other stuff category on that album.
Side note, Isle Thing, another one that could have been on the TV album and was not. That would have been in contention but did not make the cut for whatever reason.
If I was putting together a TV album, it would be on my list.
There you go.
I actually think that there are a few songs on the TV album that are bigger stretches than putting Isle Thing on it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
All right, well, Jackie, fourth pick.
I want to also, about Isle Thing, there is an inside joke on our podcast, and it originated when UHJeff was a guest.
Oh, hi.
And it is, our version of Netflix and chill for Weird Al fans is Gill and chill, because we're going to watch Gilligan's Island and chill. So Gill and chill, feel
The
free
thing
to
I
use it.
really like about that song is that if you listen to it back to back with the original Wild Thing, the first verse is it's set up exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But then he gets trapped in this weird rerun hell, and it's so great.
Yeah, uncomfortable parallels between the two.
Mom comes in, it's very embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, so my next pick is from Running with Scissors, Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
So the song about a talk show that's completely outrageous, and we get to talk about all that. It's also a parody of the Bare Naked Lady song that which is a big reference to the X-Files in that.
Yes.
The original song.
That's right,
So,
yeah.
It's like a double whammy TV song there.
Nice.
Wow, yeah.
Also featuring Tress MacNeille.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I forgot about
the spoken word part.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and also the greatest thing out of that song too is that goat doesn't love you.
To explain to people who may not be familiar, because it took years for me to realize that I was hearing it wrong. In the song, it says, "That goat doesn't love you." But I always heard it, and it seems like about 50% of listeners
Belong
heard
to
it
you
as,
is what I always heard.
That goat doesn't belong to you. Yeah, it is. That goat doesn't love you, and it's on our podcast, we call those Gosners because in Like a Surgeon, he says, hand me all your Gosners.
Your Gosners.
And a lot of fans hear that as Gosners. So
I was definitely one of those people.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to realize what he was saying.
Listen, when you're 10 and you don't know what medical equipment is, you're like, yeah, sure, Gosners. That seems like a thing people use.
Yeah, Gosner is some adult thing where I'm going to learn about later.
No, I literally, until this exact moment, I literally thought it was That Goat Don't Belong to You.
if you listen to it, it's like that whole the dress thing. You know, some people hear it.
It's a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, UHJeff, fourth pick.
I'm going to dive into the Medium Rarities album.
Ooh.
I'm going with the theme from 30 Rock.
Oh.
One of my favorite shows with
such a good show
with Weird Al. I mean, how could I not pick this?
Absolutely.
My favorite is that they made him re-record the original vocals for air during the end credits. He does a line that says, you know, our ratings are dismal, which is the version that is on the Medium Rarities album. But they made him overdub it for air on NBC, where our ratings are awesome. You can't tell at all that there's a difference.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Al did not do the original 30 Rock theme, but he was it was just a one episode arc, I think, that had him in competition with Jenna from that show of like, he parodies her song and she gets really mad, so then she makes a very silly song and then he parodies that with a serious song.
Yes.
And
He normal Al'd us.
He normal Al'd her. And then in that episode, he sings lyrics over the original 30 Rock theme song, and they are wonderful. Yeah.
They are perfect.
That is, a deep cut absolutely counts on the Medium Rarities, which that is still just relegated to the squeeze box, right? That has not come out any other way. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I have to say, as we're in everyone's final picks, I'm pretty shocked that we really haven't had to commission too much.
No,
but I might be speaking too soon.
Everyone's been very well behaved. You guys have picked some really.
You just wait. You just wait.
All right, here we go. All right,
now we're daring
it's
you
coming.
guys.
Ethan, your final pick.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
This one is it's kind of a weird one to talk about. Weird Al was commissioned by Sundance TV to create a commercial for them to tell people what channel number they were on. But what happened was Sundance TV on Time Warner versus Spectrum versus these other things are different channels. So it's basically at least 8 songs that are these Sundance TV songs where the only thing that's different is the channel number. And the ones that are that we're aware of is Channel 126, 159, 165, 192, 505, 557, 735, and 1798. I don't know if you'll allow me to choose all of them.
No, I actually was sitting here thinking you have to pick your favorite channel.
I think 557 is kind of a
poser.
The Sundance TV promo, it is so silly. It is, it is maybe one of Al's songs that was played on TV the most because they were probably airing this all over the country. And it's so silly. It's really a hard rocking song. And Dave and I like this song so much because when we commissioned Jim Kimo West to do our theme song, he was like, "What do you want it to sound like?" And we're like, "You remember when Al did the Sundance?" So that was the inspiration we gave him, and he knocked it out of the park. So it's a very weird song. You can find it on YouTube. But I love it, and it's silly, and hopefully you'll count it, commissioners.
So I'm counting it, but I wrote down specifically Sundance Channel 557 TV promo, but I want to clarify for the sake of fun, no one else is able to pick the other channels for their
Are you serious?
I will just run it down the line.
I have 159 written.
Just a thought, because we talked about cable TV earlier, which was a song from the 80s where Al was making fun of how many channels were on cable TV. Imagine him thinking then that in the future he would be asked to cut a promo for channel 1798. He had no idea how bad it was going to get. That is amazing.
Well, Dave, I'm sorry to deny you being able to pick 559, though. That's
159, but
159 still, but yeah.
559 just doesn't hold up to it.
No.
Imagine if 8 of our picks, or 8 of the 20 collected picks were just this.
All right, well, Dave, outside of the Sundance TV promos.
Sorry, I'll go next on my list. Actually, this one I want to talk about is off of an album which Weird Al produced. This album is a collection of the greatest musical moments from the I Love Lucy television show, including the Babalu Music Medley, which was produced by Al. So my song is Babalu Music.
Good pick.
Love it.
Really good pick. That's great.
No notes.
No notes on that. That is.
I was hoping someone would actually pick this, because this is like we found out about this from watching an Al TV episode, and I found a $25 copy of the CD on Amazon and bought it immediately, and then wrote it off on my taxes. But it's an amazing collection of it's like archival stuff, and then this really cool like remix of all these moments. It's awesome.
It's a dance remix, basically, of music and quotes from I Love Lucy, made by Al. It is, you can find it on YouTube and stuff. That is worth seeking out, listeners.
Yeah. It's maybe not $25 worthy, but it's definitely worth like a YouTube search.
Yeah.
If people don't have YouTube, it is available on Laserdisc.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Everyone's covered then.
All right, Jackie, final pick.
Wow.
So for my final pick, I am going to go, I'm combining up some stuff. I am going to go with the 2 fake commercials off of UHF, so Spatula City and Gandhi 2.
Is that allowed?
Do you want to allow both of them, or does she have to pick one of the 2?
You were saying Spatula City and
Gandhi 2.
And Gandhi 2. I feel like I'm going to tell you need to pick one or the other, only because they are on the album as 2 separate tracks.
I'm going to go with
UHF,
Spatula City.
Original motion picture soundtrack and other stuff.
I'm going to go with Spatula City.
Gotcha.
Because that's a fake commercial.
Yes.
For a fake business.
Yep.
Or is it a fake business?
Who knows?
Who knows? No, Spatula City.
They were both definitely on my short list, so they both very much qualify.
So the movie UHF was filmed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they used real businesses there.
Yeah.
So you can actually go to the building, and I've been there, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's now like a supermarket, almost like a Walmart type of place. And I specifically went in, Vicky DeVries, rhymes with cheese, was there with me. And we went in and we specifically looked for spatulas, and at least when we went several years ago, they did have spatulas there, so they did sell spatulas at the former home of Spatula City.
Leftovers.
But was that all they sold?
Unfortunately, no. It was a lot of other stuff.
They ruined the sanctity of that building with other things.
We tried to get 9 spatulas in the 10th before.
There's a funny story that they tell about filming UHF where for the billboard, they literally bought a billboard, and the townspeople kept showing up like looking for Spatula City, and they complained enough that they took down the billboard.
All right, Jeff, you are the final official pick.
There's a lot of stuff on the table still.
There really is a lot. There really is a lot. I mean, you guys have done so well. There's some like mega obvious picks that have not been picked yet.
There
and I
are,
love that's great.
By my count, or by Ethan's count, there's still at least 180 songs still on the table.
Yeah.
Johnny O'Hearn.
Credit where credit's due.
Now, Mr. Frump watches TV while he's...
What?
No.
I think he was watching Baywatch, actually.
Get ChatGPT on the line. We got to find out.
I'm going to pick the Weird Al Show theme.
Okay.
Yes.
It is a powerhouse. It's so good. The show was not the best. Sorry.
He only got
but
one
the theme
season.
song is the best. I mean, it's just so good. And I have very warm memories of hearing that for the first time on the tour bus right before the premiere of the show. Bermuda had a copy of it and let us hear it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is magic.
I have very fond memories of the work that I put into memorizing every lyric to that song. It was a real process. It's very long. Or not, it's actually very short.
It's very wordy.
It's very short, but he covers a lot of ground. It's his whole
packs
backstory.
a lot in,
He does,
I love that song.
It's a great story.
A great choice. A great choice.
All right, well, let's see what these final lists ended up being. So I have written down here that Ethan walked away with UHF,
Boo.
Couch Potato,
Boo.
the Al TV theme, Ricky, and the Sundance Channel 557 TV promo.
Dark horse candidate.
Dave walked away with I Lost on Jeopardy, Money for Nothing / Beverly Hillbillies asterisks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cable
Good job.
TV, Isle Thing, and Babalu Music. Jackie, you walked away with the theme from Home Improvement / I'll Repair for You. George of the Jungle, Twister, Jerry Springer, and the Spatula City commercial. And UHJeff, you walked away with Frank's 2000-inch TV, Brady Bunch, Mr. Popeil, the theme from 30 Rock, and the Weird Al Show theme song. And those are the final lists unless...
Oh.
Dave and Ethan, happy 5-year anniversary of your podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, 5 years of Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast. They just celebrated the anniversary. They had a party in LA only a few days ago. Much congratulations. And so as a result...
Because they were nice enough to invite us, we want to offer you an opportunity.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
You can swipe one of your songs with someone else's song on the list.
What?
You can have what's inside the box.
Oh.
It's a box.
Bring the box to us.
Oh, the box! The box!
I'll take the box.
I want the box.
All right. Open up the box, please.
I want the box.
We got to see what's inside the box.
hang on.
I get the box. Sorry, Dave.
Nothing! Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, well, that's the list as they sit then.
All right.
Can I still steal one from Ethan?
You know what? You had a 50th birthday. I'll allow it.
I mean, the obvious choice, I think, would have to be Sundance 557.
You can't take that, Dave.
And then you're going to change the channel number, too?
Yeah, exactly.
The ultimate betrayal.
As we're wrapping up real quick, let's go. We'll start at UHJeff and work our way down here. Let's, real quick, promote what you need to promote. If you've got podcasts, documentary perhaps, and I'll say 3 honorable mentions that you would have picked that didn't get picked.
Oh
you
my
go.
goodness. That's going to be the hardest part. My honorable mentions are theme from Milo Murphy's Law, TMZ, and Talk Soup. How's that?
Right. Talk Soup. I was going to say a handful from the TV album that didn't get picked. Talk Soup was one of them.
Yes.
Talk Soup on the original TV album did not get picked.
And it's great.
And it's great, yes.
But we got to go. I'm plugging showgalsthemovie.com. Come and explore what it is.
Where can people find that?
Showgalsthemovie.com.
Or beartobestupid.com.
Or beartobestupid.com,
Oh, yes.
We're firmly in the middle of post-production. We're trying to clear some music, and we're always looking for grants and funding opportunities. So if you or your boss wants a tax write-off, just let me know. Thanks.
Anybody with a lot of money, talk to Jeff.
I mean, you can talk to any of us. That's true. Jackie?
So my honorable mentions would be Can't Watch This, Bedrock Anthem, and Harvey the Wonder Hamster. And, And I am a co-host for a podcast that has nothing to do with Weird Al, but if you're really into little plastic horses, you should come listen to Mares in Black. And you can find us at maresinblack.com. The podcast is available on any fine podcast provider.
All
Wonderful.
Right. Love it.
You've
Dave?
captured my imagination with that one for sure.
See, I don't know if we're allowed to repeat our honorable mentions or not here.
Oh, of course. Yes.
I would say for the fun of it, let's throw out
if
ones
I
that haven't
repeat
been
one,
said.
you knock it down.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that my first honorable mention is Bedrock Anthem.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a big one that no one picked. That's,
right, yeah.
That's
I was
track
surprised.
1 on the TV album.
That was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Just said that.
I just said that.
Then okay. I scratch that then. Syndicated Incorporated.
Yeah.
Off of, Bad Hair Day.
Very
Love
good.
that song.
Parody
Very
of Mystery
good.
by Soul Asylum. Al's love letter to syndicated television. Did we talk about Talk Soup?
That also
Jeff
just
grabbed
got said.
it.
Yeah,
That's
Jeff.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
I
big
should
one.
start paying
Yep.
attention. How about Here's Johnny?
Here's Johnny, another one from the TV album that did not get picked. Yes.
Yes,
very
parody
good.
of Who's Johnny by El DeBarge. And Al's love letter to Ed McMahon.
McMahon.
The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. And off of my favorite album, Off the Deep End, I Can't Watch This.
Yes.
Yep.
Which was already said.
Yes, it was already said.
Doing great. This is great.
I'm glad.
Man, 50 hit
I'm
you
glad
like
I'm
a
friends with
truck.
Johnny because he gave me a lot of choice here.
We told you to pick honorable mentions, and you just went right into your own zone there. It's all right.
And, yeah, I did. I was trying to narrow it down.
Grab the Sundance channel you want.
Fun Zone?
Fun Zone, I would allow it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun Zone instrumental, originally written for a failed Saturday Night Live replacement show called Welcome to the Fun Zone. And it played at the beginning of every single Weird Al concert.
Yes.
Yep.
And I got nothing to plug. No, yeah, obviously Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast. You can find us at weirdalpodcast.com. We interview...
Sorry, guys.
That's a great domain you got.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're basically a weekly podcast. We've been doing it for 5 years, and we try to seek out guests that have worked with Weird Al in every single capacity, from his band members to people he's done song parodies of, people who's worked with him on his movie UHJeff, as well as the new movie Weird the Al Yankovic Story. We've even interviewed Weird Al's former dentist. That is not a joke. We actually have.
Well, I mean, he helped out on Cavity Search. It's important.
Of course, yeah.
He is on an album, but he did give us a little insight about Al's oral hygiene, so that's a good episode to check out.
It has to be pretty good, right? He's told us to floss every day for our entire childhood.
Yeah.
Make him listen to the podcast. Don't tell him about Al. You got to work for it.
All right, Ethan.
All right, I'll start with some honorable mentions. These were kind of stretches. I was thinking about them, but I wasn't sure if they would be allowed. I love headline news off of...
I would have allowed it.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
It's off of Permanent Record, Al in the Box Set. It's his parody of Crash Test Dummies, And of course, it talks about 3 very big cable TV news stories. And even though it's kind of like one of Al's only songs that I guess has the ability to get dated, it kind of still works really well.
Yep.
I think, especially the I, Tanya and all that has persisted.
We pretty much just covered that on the show and said the exact same thing. Like, it should, by definition, be the most dated thing ever, talking about topical news, and yet the commentary on, like, celebrity and people, like, people's quest for attention.
Right.
Seems very, very
We got
modern
2 minutes.
still. Yeah, 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, CNR. Charles Nelson Riley. I love him.
Okay.
Love Match Game. He's a TV icon.
Bit of a stretch, but yeah, I'm into it.
And then Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White.
Yes,
of course.
very
Yeah,
good,
Wheel of
very
Fortune.
good. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'll just promote, you can also find us at 2000inch.com. We've interviewed Weird Al, and he has a really fun, 4-part episode where we ask him stuff he's never answered before, and it's really interesting. He has a lot of fun with it, and we also, anytime we go to a concert, we record a review. So especially some of these tours where he does the same set every night, you can hear us talk about it 50 different times. And you can also follow us at 2000inch on social media. We're everywhere that is social and media. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for inviting us. This is such a blast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course.
Matt and I do Weird Algorithm at Weird Algorithm Podcast on all social media. Go and subscribe to us. We're having a lot of fun. My only big stretch that didn't get mentioned was I put Homer and Marge, Al's parody of Jack and Diane from an episode of The Simpsons.
Valid.
Very good. That would have counted.
And Matt, I mean, Geekscape.net, I'm at booth 1632. Come and get some free stuff because we have nothing to sell this year. We're just giving away things, so come get free things.
Free stuff.
And Matt, real quick, you're in a band. Is your band doing anything exciting that people should know about in the next couple months?
Yes, I play in the band Wheatus. We're doing a tour in September, opening for Bowling for Soup.
Awesome.
In no part of the country near where we are right now. East Coast people and kind of middle East Coast people come see us. And then there'll be more. We'll be out again next year, UK, all that kind of good stuff, yes. But yeah, Weird Algorithm Podcast, please do check it out. And yeah, thank you to our amazing guests.
Yes.
You guys are experts, and it would have been worse without you.
Yes, it would have been
without a doubt.
You mean even worse?
Even worse. There it is.
Thank you to all you people
Thank you
making
for
this
coming and
first
hanging out
panel
with us.
so special to us. If you get some type of weird thing to fill out, say, hey, more Weird Al podcasts, because next year's 40 years of Dare to be Stupid. We can
There
do
you
something with
go.
that, I promise.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody, we've got free stickers if you want to meet us outside.
There you go.
Yeah. And flyers.
Thank you! I couldn't have completed this project without a little extra coffee. And since I brush with Colgate's Pro Series toothpaste with an expert-level whitening for a vibrant glow, I could show up to set each day camera-ready and smiling wide.
Well, Kelly, looks like a little Colgate gave you a lot of confidence.
Colgate Optic White. Find it at all major retailers.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.